Oh, 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 man. Phew. That's better than an orgasm, at least from what I remember. I haven't had one that, well, with another person in 4, 5 years. And I finally learned and figured out it's better to do it yourself. I'm just saying. Because when you share that special moment with someone, they will ruin your life. Trust me. 2 marriages later, and numerous psycho freaking females, but could just be that I attract psychos. Yeah. That are attracted to psychos. I'm not going to mention any names, but y'all have seen a couple. Y'all seen a few. Back in the day, but I was bored. I saw my buddy Brolance try to call me earlier today. My sleep schedule and my everything schedule has been kind of skewed. Having some health issues. Shocker. I had what the hospital called an abscess. I called it a cyst or a boil that used to show up on my inner thigh it's been there for like years. I don't mean like months. I mean literally years. Pop it, it would get big. I pop it, it would go away. Well, I popped it, and apparently it didn't come out. It went internally, and I got this big infection, blah, blah, blah. This is what I find funny. They slice me open, shove 6 foot of packing gauze into this orifice that they supposedly cleaned out. And what happens next, and is still happening now, nowhere near, well, I can't say nowhere near, but I start getting a bubble on my leg, and I press on it, and it expunges this white and red gooey fluid, just pus and blood, which you would expect from the opening that I had on my leg. Ugh. But no, it's not coming from there. Now you've got to remember, this is on my inner thigh, like under my ball sack. Okay? It's not something I could easily see or access. So I am laid out in that bed that you see behind me with my leg raised up with a little round mirror sitting on the bed while I am trying to examine it. Oh man, you should have seen the cleaning and bandaging of this shit. But there's a little pinhole, and from my point of view, it's above, and I literally mean like a pinhole from my point of view, it's above, but technically it's below where they made their incision that I have to keep cleaning and take care of. And the pocket that is filling up with stuff is like an inch and a half or 2 inches away. So I push on this spot, and there's a little pinhole that pus and blood comes out of. It is just, yep, even now, still happening. And I went to the hospital back in the middle of last month. I've got it written down somewhere. Because I got a whole list of shit that I've been keeping track of. But I ended up still having issues with my back. Granted, the implant has helped. And if anybody wants to jump in, I put a link in the chat. Just click on that and figure it out yourself. But apparently, it's not just nerve pain. Oh, believe me, the implant has help. I'm vibrating right now. You have no idea. I control pain settings for the nerves in my spine. But it does not help with apparently arthritis pain. Did you know when you have multiple surgeries on joints, you get arthritis? I had 5 back surgeries. So, and I've been going to pain management for a year or two now. Because I've had 5 fucking back surgeries. And they know physical therapy, some of the stuff I can't fucking do. So I think when I first got I am being forced to go to physical therapy because I have arthritis in my spine, which is noted. But my insurance, for some reason, pain management wanted me to get nerve blocker injections just to find out which joint is causing the pain where I can't stand. Where if I stand, I like fold up because I start hurting so bad. Pain management wanted to do these injections, which they've done before. And my insurance had no damn problem with it. But now my insurance goes, oh no, you can't get these injections unless you go through 6 weeks of physical therapy and get a new MRI done. Oh, that's been fun. Number one, physical therapy. Oh, the lady, her name is Al or something. Nice lady. And even she understood. She's like, oh, yeah, okay. My biggest homework is to, for 5 minutes a day, roll a towel up, put it in my spine, and just lay back and let my shoulders fall back to try to get me standing up straight, which does not help, has not helped, and hurts like hell. But oh no, that's not even the fun part. Last time I went to my physical therapy was the 5th. Yeah, no, the 6th. And they would not let me do physical therapy because my blood pressure was so high. Apparently, after I had that little infection, oh shit, I'm skipping ahead to everything. I had that little cyst, blah blah blah. They cut it open, blah blah blah. The day after, I ended up going back to the emergency room because it hurt worse, swole worse, and was leaking worse. And apparently, my one day there that they let me took me in wouldn't let me leave right after because I had anesthesia and I was living alone. Wouldn't let me go home. They kept me and then they let me out that night. And the very next night, I was back in the ER because I was worse. Somehow or another, from being in the hospital, them shoving me full of gauze and whatever, I go home, I do nothing. I mean, literally nothing. I come home, lay in the bed, eat, go back to the hospital because it got worse. Miraculously, the second time, I have some kind of bacterial infection, and they kept me there for like 3 days. So, in other words, y'all shoved a freaking bacterial infection in my freaking thigh that I'm still having issues with. A month later, still got the same issue I had before. I've got a lump, press on it, it oozes. So y'all did absolutely nothing but cut into me, jam me full of shit, give me an infection. That's fucking ridiculous. I hate doctors. I hate hospitals. So I normally don't go unless I'm broken or bleeding. But just so I can stand up straight and walk, pain management, who has been dealing, once again, I said they've been dealing with me for well over a year. I'm there because physical therapy does not work. Because physical therapy is for working your muscles and working, which I do. I got my little hand scrunchy. I got this. I got dumbbells. I get up and I walk around. I mean, what else do I got to do? They act like I'm just laying here not doing nothing. And I don't. But now my insurance, here's the funny part. My insurance says, okay, we're not going to allow these injections through your pain management center unless you do 6 weeks of physical therapy and have a new MRI done. Oh, there's the fun part. So, doing the 6 weeks of physical therapy, I had an issue. Like I said, I had the infection. Then my blood pressure started messing up. Now, I ended up in the hospital because my blood pressure spiked to 150 over 110. I was having sharp stabbing chest pains every time my heart beat. I was having issues with my arm going numb. I go to the ER. They bring me in, they x-ray my chest, and then stick me on a gurney in a hallway and leave me there for 4 hours and then dismiss me. Well, we've done blood, and we've done this, and we've done that, and we can't find anything wrong with you, so we're sending you home. Now, when I had the infection in my thigh, they were worried because it was a bacterial infection that I miraculously got, coincidentally, when I was in the hospital. Before they let me leave, they did one of those, I did EKG and all of that, but they did that little x-ray they do on pregnant women, see the baby in the womb, sonogram, something, whatever that is. They did that on my heart because apparently this bacterial infection that I had was in my blood and could clog arteries and blood valves and things like that. And they were worried about that before I left. And after I left, my blood pressure started spiking. I was having chest pains. I mean, I could feel every time my heart beat. And I know a lot of people don't believe I have a heart. Half the time, I wonder if I have one. But every time my heart beat, I could feel a stabbing pain in my chest. And it hurt to breathe in. If I would breathe in too deep, it would get worse. Like I said, I'm still having the damn issues, all of the issues. But the hospital's like, yeah, just wait till you stroke out, have a heart attack. And what's messed up is I've been following my blood pressure on a daily basis for a couple of months. And I realized one thing. Apparently, sitting here, getting up, drinking a cup of coffee, smoking a cigarette, taking my blood pressure is one thing. But being in the hospital, laid out in the bed, my blood pressure is beyond perfect. It was like 117 over 72. It was when I was 118 over 72. 118 over 7. But it was always like below the standard. My blood pressure was perfect. The whole time I'm laying there, not moving, not doing anything, just sitting here in the chair. Today, that's something else I'm going to start noting, because today I've been drinking since I woke up this morning. I normally don't do. Yeah, I'm drunken white trash, but yeah, I wrote up a little chart and everything Been keeping track since July 1st. And my blood pressure was a little high. It spiked a couple of times without taking blood pressure medicine. But since I started taking my blood pressure medicine on the 5th, because my blood pressure spiked to 150 over 110, that's when I started having the chest pains and shortness of breath, and got worse when I would lay down, and numbness in my arm. And it wasn't really like a numbness. It's hard to explain. It was almost like a slight cramp type numbness deal, which I still have been getting, but then it went the next day, it went to 150 over 99. That's when I went to physical therapy, and they were like, yeah, we're not going to exercise you today. You need to go to the ER. I'm like, well, the only reason I'm even here is because my insurance. So I ended up leaving. And instead of going to the ER, I figured I'd tough it out. The next day, it got worse. Go to the ER, and that's when I got stuffed in a fucking hallway for hours, and they just sent me home going, yeah, you're okay. Okay. It was fucking ridiculous. But I'm still breathing. And I have learned that because I hadn't been drinking, which is why y'all haven't seen me, because I don't like get on here or talk with people unless I'm drinking. So I had a few drinks. I had to deal with this thing. She bitched. I spent over $60 of my food stamp card. Yeah, you know what? I can hear. I can hear. I hear DJ in the background. I swear to God, going, "You got food stamp card, don't be." Damn it, I can't help it. Bite my lily white ass. But I get like $290 for the month. And that's just food, which does not bother me one bit. I am great with that until I'm buying food for somebody else, especially crap. I gotta buy Mountain Dew. I've gotta buy bubble gum. I've gotta buy mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, Heinz 57, um, barbecue sauce, and all of that to bring to a woman. And just that little bit, just those sauces, cost me 50 fucking bucks. So when I'm buying 50 fucking dollars in condiments to bring to you and soft drinks, man, I could have had a couple of ribeye dinners. But no. And then less than a week later, I get a phone call bitching at me. I want you to bring me more drinks and bring me this, bring me gum, and bring me a sub from like Walmart or something. Those subs in the deli. With what? You've already spent like a fifth of my damn food money on condiments and shit. Now you want me to go out and buy you more shit and bring you more shit, which means that's gas money with an illegal as fuck Jeep. I'm having fucking heart issues. I'm having fucking health issues. I'm having to go through all this crap and deal with my own shit. And you're mad at me. This is why she's mad, though. She calls at 9 o'clock at night. And then the very next day, she telling me or asking me if I could bring her more sodas and this kind of gum and that kind of gum and a sub and all of that. And the very next day, she calls me going, I thought you were coming up here. I'm like, no. Well, you said you were. I didn't say shit. You called me at 9 o'clock at night telling me to go here, get this, and buy this. And I said, let's see what I could do with no fucking money. Oh, it pisses me off. I swear to God. I'm telling you, she's lucky she's in the goddamn nursing home. Because if she was here, I would have smothered her with a pillow. I take that back. Please give me, Lord Jesus, and let me live with them little pygmies down there in New Guinea. But I have found out one thing. Apparently drinking helps my blood pressure. Because this morning, it was actually, today's been pretty good. This morning was 105/78 with a pulse of 94. And before I started this chat, it was 97/75 with a pulse rate of 120. I don't know, that might not be good, but it's a lot better than it was. Yesterday it was 103/79. The day before was 124/92. The day before that was 108/83. And it amazes me, ever since I started taking my blood pressure medicine again, my blood pressure has been higher. That makes a lot of sense, don't it? Till today, my blood pressure dropped, but that's the drinking. And drinking is half the battle. G.I. Joe. But yeah, I just figured I'd get on here. Apparently having heart issues but they did another x-ray of my lungs, perfectly healthy lungs. I smoked 2 packs of cigarettes a day since I was 15 years old. And for those who don't know, that'll be 30 years ago on the 18th of this month. So 2 packs of cigarettes a day for 30 years. Perfectly healthy, oversized lungs. And one of the things I find funny is there used to be this little claymation they were doing claymation commercials back when I was watching TV against smoking. And there was one, hey, little lungs, little claymation lungs. Smoking stunts the growth of your lungs. My lungs are so big you can't get them in one x-ray. They have to take two x-rays and overlap. Granted, I'm a big guy, but I don't care if you're 5'6" or 6'5". Your organs are all the same size. Supposedly. Apparently, my lungs didn't get that memo. I got very, very large lungs. And apparently, I'm immune to fucking smoking, drinking. Drinking makes me healthier. Just like there was this fucking commercial, the non-smoking commercial. Woman, a little girl, a teenage girl sitting there waxing her lip. Smoking causes extra hair growth. I've been smoking 2 packs a day since I was 15. You know the one place that I had issues growing in my mustache? Oh, my big, well, top of my head now, but that's age induced and ceiling fan induced. Once again, 6'5". Some of these non-smoking commercials just fucking get me. Or used to get to me. Years. I sat in the hospital looking out the window because they gave me a remote for the television. I had no idea how to fucking work the damn thing. It's like, how does this fucking thing work? Finally got something making noise in the background. I was like, okay, it's on. And I tried flicking through. I did stop. Apparently, whatever station I found was playing the old series Supernatural. Oh, well, first, it started out as Charmed. One of my first wife's favorite shows that I actually got sucked into. The original Charmed. So I was sitting there listening to that, and I've seen every episode, so I had that playing in the background, looking out the window, just oozing and bleeding everywhere. Occasionally sneaking into the bathroom and smoking a cigarette. But that was another thing. I get to the hospital. I knew I was going to the hospital. So I take my phone, charger cord. I take my my back remote, take my wallet, take my house keys, take all of this, have it all in my pockets. When they took me into I went to the ER closest to here, which is just an emergency room. They have no hospital, no facilities, just an ER. You show up there and then they go, oh, okay, no, you need to be transferred to a hospital. It's kind of a useless building, but hey, it creates more problems than it does help. Well, I can't say that because I know there are a lot of people that, that just go to the ER for nothing. So I could see them going there, but in the long run, for people that actually need help, it's kind of fucking up them. Because I went there and they did all kinds of blood cultures, and as soon as they get my blood cultures and all this shit back, they're like, "Oh yeah, he needs." They took me straight to the surgery department at an actual hospital to cut me open and expunge the infection in my thigh and all that crap. Which yes, I'm still dealing with, but because I got more of an infection being at the hospital than I had before. The fucking medical system is just goddamn ridiculous, man. I quit taking my blood pressure medicine for a couple of months, monitored it every damn day. It was fine. It started to spike when I got the little cyst thing. It spiked, went to the ER, and since then, when it spiked, I started taking my blood pressure medicine again. And since I started taking my blood pressure medicine, my blood pressure has been up there until today. Thank you, whiskey and club soda. And if Kush is watching, yes, club soda. I gave up regular sodas. But if I drank whiskey straight, I'd kill myself because I would drink it just as fast as I do mixed. So, yeah, still on my carnivore diet. Man, I got a bake. I got some leftover bacon cheeseburger casserole in the fridge right now. But it's not in my time frame of eating. I try to stick to one meal a day. Occasionally I'll do two, depending on my plans and my sleep schedule, which is I don't have one. I sleep when I'm tired. I eat when I'm hungry. I don't have a job or family or friends to deal with, so the only thing I've got is fucking Montina calling me, and God knows that could be at 4 in the morning, 2 in the morning, 12 in the afternoon. And pretty much every time it has absolutely